So we are very new to the experimentation world. So before we would make decisions based on analytics or gut feel, we put them live and then they might not necessarily come to fruition. So with having A/B testing software has been a huge help for us. So it means that we don't waste a lot of money and time developing something which may not work. We can test it first and then implement the successful outcomes. So being able to test different versions against each other, we can also use something called, I can't remember the exact name of it, but you can create multiple variants for an experiment, and then you can have AI determining which one is going to be the winner and then start sending more people to that version. And so that's been a big help for us to get to answers much faster. So we're leveraging the AI tools within experimentation to help us make decisions on what the best outcome is. I would say it's not as intuitive as a CMS is, but this is purely my own personal experience because I'm very new to the whole experimentation world. It's not something I've had much experience with in the past. So it's trying to get my head around the terminology and the way that it all works. Has been a bit more of a learning curve than the CMS, but I think I've come a long way in 6 months, and give it another couple of months and I'll probably be there. So yeah, no, I think it is very, very good at the moment. To say, yeah, it's a bit of a learning curve. At 10, definitely. I mean, as I said, it's a little bit less intuitive than CMS, getting my head around it, but what it's done for our business, definitely a 10. So we did an experiment not too long ago where we tested moving some content that was below the fold, a very low exposure rate, and we moved it up above the fold so that more people would see it. We did a bit of analysis before that to determine that those that did get that far down the page and interacted with it interacted well. So we thought by bringing it up the page, getting more people to see it, it would then improve its engagement. So by doing an A/B test with this, it meant we didn't have to spend the money on development in order to create the template to move that where we needed to go. And we found that actually that was a massive improvement in both in revenue, in visits, engagement. All of our metrics went up, and it generated a lot of additional revenue. We saw a massive increase in our conversion rate from those pages. And the good thing about experimentation as well is that you can roll it out to 100% of people, the successful experiment once it's done. So you don't have to wait for the development in order to do it. So we now have the development ticket in. Our dev team are going to be looking at it. But in the meantime, we can make sure that all of our users are seeing that version that won whilst we wait for that dev. So that's also hugely important to us because, as I mentioned before, we're a small team, limited resource, so we can't always get to the developments as quickly as we'd like to. So being able to roll it out to everybody so that everybody sees the winning version before we can dev it is, yeah, massive plus for us. So I'll say an 8 for now, but that's personal because, as I said, I don't really have much experience with it. So for me, I'm very new to this world. I think somebody who probably has experience with experimentation platforms previously would probably find this very easy, very intuitive. Um, but yeah, I'm getting there. So I think if you'd have asked me 4 months ago, it might have been a 5, but it's an 8 now. So nothing like this. I said I'm very new to the even the wine site. I think we did have an A/B testing software previously, which was managed by a former employee, but that's been a good 4 or 5 years. Not in the Optimizely world have we used A/B testing. So yeah, nothing prior to this for me personally. Yeah, so definitely being able to test things before we develop them. Not only has that saved us money in development, but it's also saved us a lot of time as well because we can get the experiments up and running within a couple of days, whereas dev might take a few months. And also for the unsuccessful experiments, the ones that fail, the ones that don't reach target revenue, we haven't spent a lot of money on developing those only to find out that they don't work. So that saves us a lot of money that way as well. So yeah, very good at cost savings. Yeah, so we use experimentation. So we build the experiments within the platform, and then in order to, so for example, if we have element changes, things moving around, so we need to build that in the CMS. Sometimes it's blocks that we're replacing with other ones, so we build them all in the CMS first, so we have access to them, and then we could use the experimentation platform to then showcase what we want the different users to see, depending on which experiment track they're in. Oh, that's massively helpful, especially layering on Opal as well, because they give you the report summary, which has been great, and you can even get it to tailor it depending on who you're reporting back to. So we have various teams within the business who are keen on how the experiments are performed. So I can get Opal to summarize the results, and then I can ask it to say that I'm presenting this back to a board of executives. So can you help me with that? And they'll tailor it perfectly for the audience that I'm presenting it back to, whether it's a marketing team, an executive team, or a trading team that just want the numbers. So yeah, it's very useful having it all in one place, and especially with Opal overarching all that. Again, I'm going to say yes, because I don't know how much it costs, but for what it's done for the business and how well, how much we're utilizing and how much we're using it, definitely. I am, yes. Yes, definitely. And I'd like to point out as well that, as I said, we've only been using it for 6 months, so we've only just finished our onboarding. The team that helped us through the onboarding were brilliant. So if anybody is considering going for experimentation, yeah, the team that do the onboarding are spectacular. Yes, yes, it did. I would, absolutely. So we also use the Optimizely CMS, the Optimizely data platform, and then on the analytics side, Content Square and Heat. Yes, definitely. Especially Content Square and Heat, they're partners of Optimizely, so there's seamless tie-ins between the two. So they work hand in hand.